Hey everybody, welcome back to an episode of the 3 Count. We are the 3 Count Mafia. I'm War Machine MJ, and he's Dicky.
Yeah, as you saw on the TV version of 3 Count, I lost the bet for TLC. So for a whole month, I will be called Dicky.
And no variation on it.
No, just straight Dicky.
No Rodimus Dicky, no Dicky Prime, just all Dicky.
Oh boy.
Anyway.
I gotta survive that for a whole month.
Oh come on, you survived having a bag on your face.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just saying.
And you survived that god-awful Scott Steiner impersonation.
No, that was trash.
Yeah.
But I did my best.
Anyway. Yeah. Today we're going to talk about the network stuff.
Mm-hmm.
NXT UK, 205 Live, and of course a killer NXT.
Yeah.
I know I throw that word around a lot. Killer.
Yeah. I mean, there are several variations of what we could say about NXT. It was killer. It was fire, as they say.
It was also DIY.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that a little later. But we're going to start off with 205 Live first.
Or the bloating ship of the cruiserweights.
Yeah. Where do we begin? Yeah, we'll begin with Hideo Itami and Arya Daivari. They came out to cut a promo to start the show. Vic Joseph was basically welcoming everybody to the show until they just came out and just said, fuck you, we're here to start the show. We're going to let you know what we got to say.
We're going to hold the show hostage until we get until we get our reservations answered.
Yeah, basically, Arya Daivari has said, Hideo Itami is a legend. I've seen him just come in and just been treated like a joke. And you look at this man's feet. He was talking about this man's feet, for God's sakes, saying that he has a doctorate in stomping faces, and says that until he gets suitable competition, until he gets respect, because that is his big word, respect. You got to respect him now. We are canceling 205 Live. But wait a minute. General Manager Drake Maverick came out there. And what did he do? He said, that's going to lead to a suspension. And I was just like, that sounds so elementary.
I thought he said it would lead to you losing your jobs or something like that.
Well, he did say that after Noam Dar came out there, because he kept trying to convince him to give him a match.
Okay.
And he said, well, out of respect to the fans and out of respect for the WWE Universe, I'm going to give Hideo Itami a match against Noam Dar. And next time you do that, will lead to your jobs, which means you're fired.
You're fire.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, this was a really good match.
Mm-hmm.
Despite how they booked Noam Dar since his return.
Yeah, because, I mean, he was out with injury last week. Then he had a pretty good match against Buddy Murphy, which was, 2 weeks ago? Somewhere around there.
He didn't have a match against Buddy Murphy. He was supposed to, but he couldn't make it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Wait. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, because I think it was it was before TLC, because he wound up facing Grand Metalik.
Yeah. Anyway, basically, he hasn't been looking good since coming back. And due to some shenanigans by Arya Daivari, his boy Hideo Itami got the victory over one Scottish supernova, Noam Dar. Yeah.
Yeah. If they want to, repackage Noam Dar, or at least bring him back to prominence, put him back on the UK roster.
Yeah. Because that match he had with Pete Dunne for the championship was...
Oh, my God, that was so good.
Whew! Boy.
Say what you want about Pete Dunne's title reign. It may be Brock Lesnar-esque, but at least he puts on good matches.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, he's got the championship. We're just going to have a 5-minute match. He actually goes in there with whoever he's facing for the championship, and he puts on stellar performances.
He puts on 4 or 5-star matches.
Indeed. Anyway, we move on with the man of that. Well, I'll let you do it.
We move on to the man of the hour, the 23-year-old piece of gold.
Well, 24.
24-year-old piece of gold. Lio Rush. Hey, Bobby, show me your favorite pose.
Oh, boy.
But he was all business on 205 Live.
Yeah, he said, I forgot what all he said. He said, I'm a busy man. And tonight, I'm going to show you why I'm a busy man, because he took on some jobber. They didn't say the guy's name. Basically, just to sum this up, he got beat with 2 final hour fraud splashers.
Yeah, looked kind of shootish on that last one.
Yeah.
Like he went all Randy Orton and just, called him stupid and kicked his head in.
Yeah. Basically, he kept doing this. Basically, he's saying he's coming for the Cruiserweight Championship.
He's not getting that Cruiserweight title.
No.
He's too busy being Bob Lashley's hype man.
As if we don't get that enough.
Hey, Bobby, show me your favorite pose. You look like money, you smell like money, your farts smell like money. Show me your favorite pose, Bob.
Yeah. Lashley.
Lashley. Okay, let's kill it.
Yeah. Moving on to the main event, which was a tag team street fight. But before we get into that, let's talk about Buddy Murphy. He was in the locker room, handling some business on his phone. Drake Maverick came in there, congratulated him on his win. He said, you know what? I faced Mustafa Ali. I faced Cedric Alexander. And everybody said that they were supposed to be my 2 toughest opponents. Well, what happened? I came out still the Cruiserweight champion. And I'm not one of the best. I'm not one of the best. I am the best. Why? Because I had the championship to prove it. So I tell you what. You give me a suitable opponent and you give me some real good competition. And you better make it good.
$5 said it's going to be Tony Nese.
I figured.
Yeah. Anyway, next up we move on to the tag team street fight with Drew Gulak and Jack Gallagher. Both of them coming out there wearing suits, looking dapper as fuck.
Yes.
And, well, go ahead.
Oh, especially Gulak.
Yeah. And then we had Akira Tozawa and his partner, the reborn Brian Kendrick, a.k.a. Spanky.
Yes. Like I was telling this guy off air, Kendrick with the goatee, he really looked like he aged a lot, especially with the long hair. But since he trimmed up, clean shaved, he looked like he got in the time machine and jumped back 10 years.
Actually, no. Since he cleaned up, he looked like he never aged.
Well, yeah. But, I mean, he looks a lot different compared to with the goatee and the long hair.
Oh, yeah. Now he just looks like the golden child.
Yeah. But anyway, I thought this was a decent match for the main event.
Yeah, it was very creative for what I was awake for. Not that this match was boring, but mind you, it's just I was really tired for some reason.
Yeah, I was watching this match, and basically they just made it where Kendrick was just getting beat down every chance he got, and he tried to get some momentum time and time again, but it just wasn't enough. Akira Tozawa, he did everything that he could to help his partner, and at one point, Drew Gulak was tied to the ropes with that bungee cord, and they were chopping the fuck out of him.
They had a chop off.
Oh my god!
I love a good chop off.
Yeah.
I did like one spot where Gallagher and Gulak put Akira Tozawa in the chair.
Yeah.
And Gulak did a running drop kick.
Now that was nice.
Or was it Gallagher?
Yeah, it was Gallagher.
Okay,
because he did the kick.
Yeah, he did the running drop kick. That was a great spot.
Yeah, I thought also with that chair, like when Gulak was in the chair and Gallagher got dumped on him, I literally thought they were gonna fall. Cause the chair just went like this. It was all bent up, and Percy Watson just had to stand like this the whole time, cause they stole his chair. So I mean,
yeah, apparently there was a lot of office chair play.
Yeah, good thing it wasn't steel chairs.
I was about to say nobody can hurl an office chair like Samoa Joe
or Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
Remember when you threw it at Roman Reigns?
Yeah, but Braun Strowman had that overhead while Samoa Joe had that underhand throw.
Yeah. Didn't he do that to Roman too?
I think so.
Yeah, because that was pretty nasty. Anyway, the clean cut
the
spanky Brian Kendrick and Akira Tozawa ended up getting the victory, which was a like I said, pretty good match, brutal match, but hey, as I said, it was redemption for one Brian Kendrick as he rid himself of Drew Gulak and Jack Gallagher.
Yeah. Usually by now we talk about NXT, but you know what? Given this week's NXT, we're going to push it back towards the end of the show. So yeah. Let's go ahead and talk about NXT UK.
Yeah, episodes 17 and 18 as they keep just pushing it out, 2 shows at once. Still, two pretty good shows.
I think they'll dial back the episodes once Blackpool is over with.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they still did, but I agree with you.
Yeah, we started the episode off with the Irish Ace, Jordan Devlin.
Or as I call him, Finn Balor 2.0.
Taking on Mike Hitchman.
The Wild Boar Mike Hitchman.
Now, I actually like the Wild Boar.
Yeah, I've come around on him. He's pretty solid.
There's one thing I'm not sure about, though. His eyes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's wearing colored contacts or if his eyes are really that narrow that it casts a shadow over his pupils.
I want to say they're contacts.
Either way, I'm digging it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a real good Rhino-esque wrestler.
Yeah, indeed, indeed.
I wouldn't mind a match between those two, actually.
That would be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That would be awesome. But anyway, this was an okay match to start off the show. Jordan Devlin did get the win, by the way, with the Ireland's Call. I do like that name.
That name's really cool.
I mean, being he's from Ireland, he's got Ireland on his jacket. It really fits it. So, like I said, Jordan Devlin got the victory.
The ace trumps all.
Moving on, we had Fabian Eichner taking on the English Lion, Eddie Ryan.
Now, apparently, this Eddie Ryan cat, no pun intended, has been on the English UK scene for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a vet.
As I called him, the Tiger Mask ripoff.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that, but he's the British Lion. He's not trying to be Tiger Mask.
Yeah, I mean, there have been like many versions of Tiger Mask. So what do I know?
Yeah.
Anyway, this was alright, I guess. It was basically Fabian Eichner. This was mostly Fabian Eichner. He ended up getting the victory.
Yeah, with that sit down last ride powerbomb.
Yeah. Do they have a name for that?
Not yet.
Oh.
Either way, they're going to do big things with Eichner once this whole feud with Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews is out of the way.
Yeah.
Because there's something really stupid that happens in the next episode that we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, next match was Mustache Mountain against Muscle Cat Jesus and Tyson T-Bone.
Yeah, it just seems like Saxon Huxley, Muscle Cat Jesus, he really has a bad time when it comes to tag teams. Because I mean, he was in a tag team with Joseph Connors, and
Actually, no, he was in a tag team before Joseph Connors. I can't remember who though.
I can't remember either. I just mostly remember Joseph Connors, and Joseph Connors beat the fuck out of him because he wouldn't tag.
Yeah, him and the guy he was partnered with initially, they lost. Then Saxon Huxley moved on to Joseph Connors. Then, of course, that fallout.
Yeah, and then Tyson T-Bone.
I feel like there was somebody before Tyson T-Bone.
I can't, because, I don't know, I can't. Anyway, this was a pretty decent tag team match, to say the least. Mustache Mountain, of course, was going to get the victory.
Yeah, they took advantage of a miscue.
Yeah, and they're looking to become the first ever NXT UK Tag Team Champions. Again, those belts look so fucking awesome.
Speaking of fucking awesome, what about Trent Seven's attire in that promo? Fire.
Yeah, it was definitely fire.
Anyway, we moved on to the main event, which was the NXT UK Women's Championship. Defending champion, the Mosh Pit Kid, Rhea Ripley, taking on the White Witch of NXT UK, Isla Dawn.
Both these women are just... Jesus Christ. Need we say more? Need we say more?
Say more, say more.
I mean, they are just bona fide fine. I mean, bona fide fine with like 5 exclamation marks at the end. Anyway, this match was...
F-I-N-E, fine.
Yes.
There we go.
Anyway, this was a pretty awesome match.
Yeah, you'd think that Rhea Ripley would have steamrolled Isla Dawn right from the go. No.
Yeah, I mean, being she's taller, she's...
Stockier,
yeah. I mean, but, you know...
Isla Dawn held her own, and it was a really good match.
Yeah, never judge a book by its cover, as they say. So, both girls went out there, they tore it up. We enjoyed the match, the crowd enjoyed the match in Plymouth, and Isla Dawn was about this close to becoming the new women's champion, but of course, they weren't going to take the belt off her that quick.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley ended up countering with the Riptide. I like that name also.
That's a great name.
Yes. And the Mosh Pit Kid is still your NXT UK Women's Champion. And once again, we definitely say it was a good match.
Oh, yeah. We kicked off episode 18 with more women's division action as Toni Storm took on Charlie Morgan.
Yeah, Toni Storm making her debut, coming back from injury. Charlie Morgan, I found this to be interesting when they mentioned that Charlie was trained by the first ever NXT Women's Champion, the former SmackDown General Manager, Paige. That was very interesting.
Yeah.
But, this was nice. This was a fresh way to kick off the show. Toni Storm, of course, got the victory with Storm Zero.
Yeah.
So she is wheeling her way back up the ranks to get another crack at the Women's Championship.
Yeah, it's going to take a while for me to get used to Charlie Morgan. She's all right, but it's just, I don't know, something about her, she just gives off Mark Andrew vibes.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of Mark Andrews, we had him and Flash Morgan Webster against James Drake and
Liverpool's number one, soon to be recognized as the UK's number one, soon to be recognized as the world's number one, and soon to be Oh,
I didn't know we were going. I thought we were something
okay.
world.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we'll continue working.
we were so close. Anyway,
I fucked that up. But anyway,
Zach Gibson, the grizzled young vets.
Yeah. Basically, like I told this guy as I was watching the match, just catching up on the network stuff. The hate, the love / hate that they give Zach will never get old. I mean, as soon as he got in the ring, they stood up. If you hate Gibson, stand up. You know they were going to do it. You know they were going to say it. If you hate Gibson, sit down. If you hate Gibson, shoes off. I mean, I'm not going to take my shoes off, but you get what I'm trying to say. I mean, classic stuff. This, like I said, this shit will never get old.
It's like booing a McMahon or chanting CM Punk in a McMahon. Except for Shane. Shane's the only one that seems to get by.
Yeah.
And he's got really good comebacks if they start doing that.
Yeah. Now, Stephanie has some good comebacks, but it's like, yeah.
Yeah, but it's out of spite. Shane just looks like he's having fun with it.
Yeah.
Because when they were doing the whole Best in the World tournament, and the crowd started chanting CM Punk, and he said, "No, I don't think he's best in the world right now."
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of fun. Anyway, but this match, this match was all right.
Yeah, I mean, they turned up the momentum a bit in the match.
There was that double stun dog millionaire.
Yes, I did like that. Later on in the match, Fabian Eichner.
Yeah, it was right after this because he was going to go for Fall to Pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came out there, he took out the Mod Boss, and then basically cost him the match.
Yeah, he distracted Mark Andrews, and Mark Andrews ate Ticket to Ride right into Shankly Gates.
Yes.
And
go ahead.
And the post-match, Webster and Andrews got torn apart by Fabian Eichner.
Yeah, but they countered and they stood tall.
Yeah.
And later on he said, they're coming for the NXT Tag Team Champions, but nah. That's not going to happen. They think they can step up to me. I don't think so. I'm going to find me a partner because I want those NXT UK Tag Team Championships.
And that's the stupid thing I mentioned. He's going to make a tag team out of spite. Lose.
Oh, boy. Honestly, what do you think about this beef between those two and Fabian Eichner?
I'm ready to get it over with. Because, I mean, it's obvious Eichner's going to get the better of him. Or I could be wrong, but still. But
yeah.
Now he's going to make a tag team out of spite. Stop. You've got way too many tag teams.
Yeah, I mean, I get that they're trying to focus on the tag team division, but it's just like, you've seen what's going on with Saxon Huxley. He's not really good when it comes to tag teams because he can't keep a partner. So then, like you said, he's going to get a tag team partner out of spite and be like, oh, we're going to beat Morgan Webster and Andrews.
Yeah. Well, it's like I said a couple weeks ago. That's all the UK division is. As soon as somebody loses a match against Pete Dunne, bam, tag team division.
Yeah.
And by the end of the day, you're going to wind up with only 2 people at that UK title picture, and the rest is going to be the tag team division. Because you know who those 2 are going to be? Pete Dunne, Walter.
There you go.
They need a mid-card title. I don't know what the fuck they're going to call it, but they need a mid-card title.
If they have a mid-card title, call it the television title. I mean, NXT has the North American Championship, but I mean, I get that they're, like I keep saying, I get that they're trying to find their footing,
Yeah.
but it's just like Pete Dunne, whoever he's facing, mid card, tag team, women's division, or they'll just flip flop.
Because I mean, they've got. If we could bring video game fighting tiers into this, they got Pete Dunne booked at God tier. You know, that's OP. That's broken. That's, you know, everybody wins with him.
Yeah.
Then it's just like everybody keeps falling off the rankings.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
I mean, it's only a matter of time before Dave Mastiff loses to Pete Dunne, and he's booked all the way down into the tag team division.
Yeah, speaking of him, let's talk about him before we talk about these last two matches. He was being interviewed because he's still undefeated, and he said, the one thing left for me is the NXT UK Championship, until he got ambushed by one Eddie Dennis. And Eddie Dennis was just screaming at him like, you think this is over? No, dog. We're just getting started. This ain't over. It's over when I say it's over.
Yeah. But it's just, they need a mid-card title.
Yeah. I mean, I get your point, but with the landscape of the championships, if you include NXT UK, NXT 205, and plus the main roster, they got a lot of belts to spread around.
Yeah, New Japan doesn't.
I mean, New Japan has hella belts.
They got like 3 tag team titles. They got like 3 different TV titles. They've got their junior title, their world title, their IC title, now their United States title.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess it's belts galore, but I get what understand what you're trying to say,
Yeah.
because it's just like, I just feel like they're trying to get everybody to find their footing. Like, it's like Pete Dunne, and then everybody else. It's like Rhea Ripley in the women's division, and everybody else.
I mean, I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing for them to lose against Pete Dunne. I'm just saying, do something more productive with them.
Yeah.
Because, I mean...
Because you got a lot of great talent on that UK roster, men and women's combined.
Yeah, because, I mean, right now it's fun to see Saxon Huxley lose every match, but eventually it's going to get boring.
Yeah.
Because he lost 500 straight tag team matches with, you know, random partner number 3.
Yeah. And it's kind of like Sid Scala.
Yeah.
You know, he lost the first 2 matches, you know. But then after a while, it'd just be like, okay, he's NXT UK jobber. But at least they found something interesting with him to where we can be invested. Like, okay, I like where this is going.
Yeah, now he's Johnny Saint's aide.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the last 2 matches of the show. It's Killer Kelly, or as I call her, the UK version of Ronda Rousey.
I love Killer Kelly.
I do too.
She's great.
Taking on, I think they called her the pink-haired princess.
The Pink Devil.
The Pink Devil, Nina Samuel. And looking at the landscape with these two are in desperate need of a win. Neither female on this roster has a win.
I think Killer Kelly's actually racked up 1 or 2 wins.
I can't remember.
I know Nina Samuels is winless.
Yeah.
Well, until now.
Yeah, because she ended up getting the victory.
Yeah, she won with Ushigoroshi.
Yeah. I thought this match was alright.
Yeah.
Nothing spectacular or nothing mind-blowing, but, you know, the match was alright.
You know, I've been thinking about this a lot lately.
Yeah.
You know, Killer Kelly's got that MMA experience.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people in WWE with MMA experience now.
Uh-huh.
Why don't we have more knockout decisions?
Yeah.
I mean...
I don't know. Being the way that Impact Wrestling did that bullshit in Grand Championship.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about that. That's like a grading system. I'm just talking about, instead of winning a match just by pinfall submission, why don't we have somebody knock somebody the fuck out? Like Asuka did to Deonna Purrazzo. Just knocked her out cold.
Or when she did Cameron like that.
Yeah.
Knocked her clean out. Like, yeah, I mean, because like you said, there are a lot of people, male and female, who are really fans of the MMA sport, who really like MMA, you know, whether
or have some background in MMA.
Yeah, you know, whether it's UFC or Bellator or any other promotion MMA related. They, you know, they have some background or they're just fans of the sport.
Ooh, have that in the feud. Like have I don't know, Aleister Black versus somebody, and the way to properly end the feud, Aleister Black just unleashes a black mass. Ref's like, oh shit, KO. Aleister wins.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Why don't they do KO more? I mean, MMA has become such mainstream that, you know, even wrestlers are picking up MMA, or wrestlers are jumping to MMA, vice versa.
Yeah, and even Oscar De La Hoya is doing his own MMA promotion, but he and Dana White are going at it. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, like we said, Nina Samuel picked up her very first victory here on NXT UK, so hopefully she'll improve and do better as far as wins go. So, you know, we'll see where the future, what the future holds for both these females.
And then we close out the show with the Iron King, Joe Coffey of Gallus, taking on the Kiwi buzzsaw Travis Banks.
Yeah, Travis coming in with the banged up shoulder. They did mention that a few weeks ago rather, Travis was taken out. Wasn't he he got taken out in the tournament?
No, it was the finals. Oh, no, it was the semifinals of the tournament.
Yeah.
Joe Coffey busted up his shoulder, and that led him to lose the finals. Then at night 2, there was that fatal 4-way for the #1 contendership.
Mm-hmm.
After Noam Dar won, Joe and Mark busted up Travis Banks.
Yeah. And basically he's been on the shelf for a few weeks. He came back and...
Well, he was on a couple episodes of NXT UK, then they took him out.
Yeah, yeah. But he's basically been wanting retribution against Joe Coffey, who's basically the leader of Gallus. And yeah, that, I don't know, that just looks goofy to me. I be wanting to laugh when they just be...
I mean,
I get it's, you know, their little pose or whatever.
I was about to say, Joe Coffey did that back in Defiant.
Yeah, I know.
He was the Iron King. But
yeah. But anyway,
it's just out of Gallus, Wolfgang looks like the only one that doesn't belong.
he looks so out of place. Like, when he does his little wolf call,
Yeah.
I like when they do that and he's on the top rope.
Yeah.
But when he does this, he just looks so out of place.
Just looks like I don't know what to do with my hands.
Like, bro, you don't even fit. It's like that Horseman DVD where they kept talking about different members in the Four Horsemen.
It's like he's like Sid of Gallus.
No, he's like Paul Roma. He's like the Paul Roma of the group.
He's so awkward.
He somewhat has the look, no homo, but he just does not fit in the group. It's like they're just grasping at straws. Like, okay, we're gonna put you in a group, and you're just gonna do this.
Maybe it's down to a height difference. Maybe that's why he looks so weird. Because I mean, you got Joe Coffey, who's the shortest member of the team. You know, he's shorter than Mark.
Yeah, but he's real bulky.
Yeah, Mark's just a bit taller than Joe, but then you got Wolfgang, who just about towers over Mark.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
I don't know. Anyway, getting back to the match, they just went guns blazing at the beginning of the match.
Oh yeah, especially Travis Banks. He was like a building on fire.
Yeah, until he got slammed into the guardrail. They had the little tape on his shoulder, and Joe kept working his shoulder the whole entire match.
Yeah.
And Travis did everything he could to gain momentum, to outdo Joe Coffey, so to speak. But it wasn't enough because Joe hit that discus clothesline. And
Joe went for Black Coffee once.
Yeah.
Travis Banks countered it with his bad shoulder, and while he was reeling from it, Joe Coffey went back for Black Coffee and put him to bed.
Yeah. And that's basically how we ended the show. So, Joe's still looking to get into the picture as far as the UK Championship goes. So, yeah, we'll see how everything goes.
Anyway,
Anyway, let's talk about NXT, man.
Now, funny story. Like I said earlier, I fell asleep halfway through 205 Live's main event.
Mm-hmm.
When I woke back up, WWE was running a snippet from their photo shoot show. You know, they were telling they had Dustin Rhodes talk about when he was approached about doing Gold Dust.
Yeah,
which I might actually start watching photo shoot.
I haven't watched a single episode.
Anyway, so I conked back out. When I woke back up towards the end of the first match on NXT.
Yeah, honestly, when I was catching up on the UK on the network stuff, I was watching this. I was like a third of the way done with the first match. I had like took a nap and then I had to wait. I woke back up and I had to rewatch 205 Live. It's not that it was boring, but I was just. It's like when you get in a. It's like when you just laying on the bed. And you just
get comfortable.
Yeah, you get comfortable. And you just crash.
Wait, were you watching the broadcast version or did you watch it on demand?
On demand.
Could just rewound it.
I mean, I did. I went back and.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Made it sound like you.
No, because like when I woke up, the show was over and I had to go back and rewatch it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we kicked off NXT with Io Shirai and Dakota Kai taking on Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke.
Yeah, honestly, like I was telling this guy, no disrespect to Marina and Jessamine, they were okay, but I wasn't overly impressed. Io Shirai and Dakota Kai, they did pretty good as a tag team. I felt like Jessamine Duke and Marina were kind of slow as far as running the ropes, but it's going to take some time for them to develop because, we hear that when they're at the PC, they're really catching on quick, you know what I'm saying? And that's good because a lot of people who jump from MMA, like they jump from MMA to wrestling like they do, I don't really feel like they can pick up, but like I said, from what I hear, they're really like lightning.
Well, I mean, when you look at their contemporary, Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
She spent, 2 or 3 years on the independent circuit before she made it to NXT.
Yeah.
And when she came to NXT, she was already a polished gem.
Yeah, and even like Ronda, like I forgot who it was, who said, basically, wrestling has been in her blood. From judo to the Olympics,
yeah,
so on and so forth. And then, like we keep saying, we had our doubts about Ronda, but when she debuted at WrestleMania, it's just like when she had her debut match at WrestleMania, it was just like, whoa, she really impressed us. And
yeah,
8 months in, she's still impressing us.
Well, I mean, to the credit of that match, she also had Kurt and Triple H and Stephanie, helping sell for her.
Yeah.
But when she had her first singles match, that's where she really impressed. I mean, she still had some bumps in the road.
Yeah.
But, there's clearly promise.
Yeah.
But I mean, with these two, it's only going to take, it's going to take longer.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's going to take longer. I'm not saying, like, oh, they were trash or anything like that. It's just that I wasn't necessarily impressed with their debut. I thought that they were going to win, like, they were going to wow me or, like, do something. But, like we both said, it's going to take some time, so we'll see how everything pans out. But Io Shirai and Dakota Kai both got the victory.
Yeah, I woke back up right as Io Shirai got the hot tag.
Yeah, and like we said off air, Io Shirai, from what we saw in the Mae Young Classic, we're definitely becoming fans of hers.
Yeah, I don't like her character right now, which is basically, I fight for my friends, but it's not like, oh, my friends keep getting their asses kicked. Something's gotta give. No, it's fight for friends.
Yeah, and it's like Dakota Kai. We like Dakota Kai, but stop trying to make her such a tough girl. I mean, she's cute and all. She's got somewhat of a mean streak, but stop trying to make her like an angry tough girl. Stop.
Just make her confident. That's it.
Yeah.
And with Dakota, with Io Shirai, stop making her, like break. What was it? Stop making her break. When you get too close to somebody, personal space.
Yeah.
Stop making her break personal boundaries. Just have her say, "Okay, I'm tired of my friends getting jumped. I'm going to do something about it."
Yeah.
Make it sound tough. Don't have her just like cling on to everybody. Be like, "Oh, she's my friend."
Yeah.
That gets old after a while.
Yeah. Anyway, we move on to somebody who was making their debut. It was Aaron Mackey taking on.
Yeah, it was time to feast your eyes.
Oh my God.
On Dominik Dijakovic. I don't like that pronunciation, so from here forth, we're gonna call him Donovan Dijakovic. There we go.
I couldn't take this shit serious. Listen, I know it was a squash.
Feast your...
But the way he came out there, he kept pacing the ring. He had that forced-ass, angry face. And he screamed, "Feast your eyes." I was just like...
Give him some time. He'll work out all the kinks.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was a squash. I expected it to be a squash. But this shit just seemed so forced, and I was just like, what the heck? This was just, oh my god.
You want to know the worst part? His finisher is called Feast Your Eyes.
I'm done. I'm done.
Anyway, he won over with a fireman's carry into a GTS.
Yeah, and it looked like he really smacked that kid in the face.
Yeah.
I felt sorry for Aaron Mackey, but I just couldn't take it serious. I just felt like this shit was forced as hell.
Yeah, speaking of feeling sorry for jobbers, because we had Heavy Machinery taking on some jobbers.
Yeah, I think they mentioned one of the guys' name. The other ones was just like,
Whatever.
yeah. The Undisputed Era was on stage watching the action.
Yeah, they came out towards the end. They were jaw-jacking at Heavy Machinery. So
Yeah.
Heavy Machinery hits Compactor on one dude, doesn't pin him.
Well, he pinned him and just yanked him up and then grabbed the other guy.
Compacted him.
Double compacted him.
Well, no, they compacted the other guy once. Then they double compacted.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so they crushed the competition, literally.
Yeah. And next week they will face the Undisputed Era for the NXT Tag Team Championships.
And they will lose the fuck out of that match to the Undisputed Era.
Agreed.
No. Undisputed.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to the main event, it was the steel cage match, the much anticipated, hyped steel cage match between Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano. It's Johnny Badass. Yeah, I was going to say AKA Johnny Badass. But Aleister was, his music played, he came out first. He was circling around the ring to get into the cage. Johnny just ambushed him from behind. They were just beating the tar out of each other on the outside till they finally got in the ring. And in the words of Mauro Ranallo, Mamma Mia. This cage match was just like, bruh.
Well, in the words of Austin Aries, Mama Malua. In fact, they actually put out, I saw it on Facebook, but they put out a supercut of Marlo's reactions to this match.
I saw it because it's on WWE's YouTube channel.
Okay. But yeah, this was such a good match.
I mean, from top to bottom, from bell to bell, from every minute, every second of this match, this rivalry has really told such a great story, and this match was no different.
I will say this, though. It was a great match, but it wasn't as good as TakeOver War Games.
No, it was not. No, it was not.
But it was great for NXT.
It was freaking great.
I had the fans on the edge of their seat every waking moment.
Yes, every move, everything they did, every
step they take, the fans were watching it.
Yes. And getting towards the end of the match, Johnny was on the top of the cage he was trying to get out. Aleister was climbing out of the door. Who comes in to stop all that?
Wham! Tommaso Ciampa.
The greatest sports entertainer ever.
The god of professional wrestling.
Yes. He came in, he slammed the door on Aleister's head, he got in the cage, and Johnny was just like, wait a minute, what the fuck are you doing? What the hell is going on? And then that one moment in the match
where Tommaso Ciampa asked for it. So Johnny was just like, what are my hands doing? He went for the thing. They met in the middle. The crowd went apeshit chanting DIY.
Heel DIY.
And Johnny was just like, the fuck?
And
because Tommaso just walked out casually, shut the door.
And Johnny was just like, what did I just do? What the heck just happened?
And he pinned Aleister Black. 1, 2, 3.
And as far as Aleister goes, he will get his rematch at NXT TakeOver Phoenix. Did you see that logo?
Yeah, I saw it.
That logo looks badass.
Fire.
Whoever did that, you deserve a raise. Anyway, it will be Aleister Black taking on Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Championship, and I'm pretty sure that Aleister will not be happy leading up to TakeOver.
I don't think it's going to be a one-on-one match, though.
You think Johnny will be added?
We could get the triple threat we've been waiting to see.
Yeah. Whether it's one-on-one or a triple threat, I don't care, because that match is going to be It's going to be 5. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
And if you look at it, and if Johnny Boy is in the triple threat,
Yeah.
if you look at it, it will be an entire year between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
Entire year.
Yeah.
That is fucking mental.
That is on some next level on your brain mental shit. Like a whole year, these two, and then you throw Aleister Black in the mix. Boy, Takeover Phoenix is going to be lit.
You know, I got to thinking about while you were talking about it. What if they had booked Rollins and Ambrose like Tommaso and Johnny?
If they were to do that, then I feel like their TLC match would have been better. A lot of people would have definitely been into the match, but the problem was the execution, the timing of the match, the placement of the match, and it was just like no one cared.
Not to mention, who the hell scripted the match to be... It was a blood feud, but they were doing wrestling holds after a wrestling match just happened. No. These guys were supposed to go out there and beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah. And I saw where Meltzer gave the ratings. He gave that match, he gave the Intercontinental title match, I think 3 stars.
What did he give the WWE title match?
I think 4.5.
So close.
Yeah.
What about the TLC match, though? The women's TLC.
I could be wrong. I want to say he either gave it a 4.5 or a 5. I could be wrong. I'll have to.
Should give it a 5.
Because that was a masterpiece. Those 3 women put on a mother freaking masterpiece. But anyway, like I said, whether it's a triple threat, whether it's 1-on-1, however it plays out at Takeover Phoenix, this is going to be incredible.
Oh yeah.
Next week on NXT, as we mentioned, the Tag Team Championships will be on the line, and the Fatal 4-Way to determine the #1 contendership for the Women's Championship will also be up for grabs. It will be Bianca Belair taking on Mia Yim, taking on Io Shirai, taking on Lacey Evans.
That's such a tough pick. I don't think Lacey Evans is going to win.
No.
Because she's about to get called up.
Yeah.
So it's down to 3. I don't think they're going to have Io Shirai win.
She'll get the belt sooner or later.
So that's 2.
Mia Yim and Bianca.
I think they'll have Mia Yim win it.
I'll go Bianca. Because, I mean, Bianca, she's undefeated. With that aside, she's worked her way up in the division. You know, Mia does have a loss against Bianca, so I feel like that'll play out.
Yeah, but the way I'm thinking it is, where does Bianca lie on the heel-face spectrum?
Right now, she's a heel, and they'll end up turning her face. If she wins, they'll turn her face against Shayna Baszler.
They don't need to turn her face. She is so good as a heel.
I mean, would you rather have a heel versus heel for the championship?
I would love to, but Bianca Belair does not need to go face.
I could see him turning her face. Because I feel like it makes sense because the crowd is behind her ever since she's been in WWE. The crowd has been behind her, and she's really taking advantage of her gimmick as the EST of NXT.
Well, let me ask you this. Who was the last heel that the fans got behind?
In NXT or WWE in general?
In general. Because I can think of one name.
That's a tough one.
I'll save you the trouble. The Man!
Yeah.
So they could keep Bianca Belair tweener.
Well, yeah.
She's got that rude personality where she doesn't need to be face.
Yeah. But I just have that feeling they'll turn her face. But we'll see how the Fatal 4-Way turns out. It's going to be good, though. Both matches are going to be good.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I was hoping in that Fatal 4 we'd have the debut of Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Oh, yeah. There was a Matt Riddle interview in NXT where he was asked about Cassius Ohno coming out and knocking his ass out.
Yeah, he said, look, if this man wants another fight, I'll give him a fight, but I'll knock his ass out in 7 seconds again, bro.
Listen, I had it coming. I knocked him out. He wants another fight. Okay, I'll knock him out in 7 seconds again. Listen, I got stuff to do. Thanks, guys. Bye. See you later.
Him and them damn flip-flops.
Hey,
I mean, I know it's a part of his moniker, but it's just...
King of Bros.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, next week on the show, we're not going to worry about 205 Live.
Yeah.
Because it's just a year-end recap.
Yeah.
And I think this is there's going to be one actual episode of NXT before they do the year-end review.
Yeah. Because I think they already got the nominees up.
Yeah. So if it winds up being another clip show, year-end clip show, I'm not going to worry about putting it on the show. I'm not going to worry about watching it.
No. Because, I mean, for example, Impact did that this past Thursday, showing different matches from different episodes and pay-per-views, so...
Yeah, and WWE just did that with their New Day Spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch that either.
I did. I watched a little bit of Tribute to the Troops on Thursday.
I didn't watch that.
Well, I watched, what match was that? Mandy Rose and Sonya taking on Charlotte and Becky.
Yeah.
Of course, Charlotte and Becky won.
Oh, there was a AJ Styles Seth Rollins tag team match.
Oh, wait, I did see that part. It was those two took on Daniel Bryan and Dean Ambrose.
Sounded like it would have been a cool team.
Rollins and AJ won, of course.
Because of course they did.
Yeah. But anyway, that is our review of all the network stuff on the WWE Network, 205, NXT, and NXT UK.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and run down what we got coming up.
Yeah, we got 2 episodes of The 10, where we talk about 10 superstars that need jump ship from Raw to SmackDown and SmackDown to Raw before SmackDown goes to Fox.
Yes. Plus, we got our review and hopefully a preview. A preview and hopefully a review of Wrestle Kingdom 13. NXT Takeover, NXT UK Takeover Blackpool.
Blackpool.
We got a preview and review of that. Plus, Takeover Phoenix and Royal Rumble from Chase Field for the first time ever outdoors.
Hopefully it rains. Anyway, we also have vintage review that we need to sit down and fucking watch.
Yes, of WCW's World War III. 60 men, 3 rings, 1 winner, and 1 big clusterfuck.
Yeah, because there's also that infamous King of the Road match.
Yeah, where they bladed and got fired because they had a no blood policy. We need to watch that. Definitely.
We've also got our year-end awards.
Yes, we got the nominees, plus the categories. I did add a stipulation. With each of the categories, all 3 of us can add 1 honorable mention.
Okay.
So whatever honorable mention for like pay-per-view of the year, match of the year, we can all add 1 honorable mention to each category.
Okay.
So.
Wait, did you put All In and Hello Wembley on the ballot?
No, I haven't put them on yet.
I was about to say, you should add those.
Yeah.
Because those happened this year.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I didn't want to oversaturate the categories, but we'll all look at the nominees and vote on who wins what.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that.
Let's see, what else is coming down the pipeline? Got any rantings you want to do?
No, not lately.
Speaking of ranting, I realized it this morning. I found our hour-and-a-half long rant about old Raw before the shakeup.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't uploaded that. I'm going to, because...
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's a listen. I guarantee you that.
Yeah. Like you always say, if you don't want to see this face, you can always listen to me.
No, as I say is, love his opinions, but hate his ugly face.
Yeah.
He has his own podcast on the Castbox. What's it called?
Prime Talk with Rodimus Prime.
Prime Talk with Ugly Prime.
Yeah. Also, for those of you who listen to the cheap plug here, JM Sports and Wrestling Podcast, I am a guest on there where we talk about that bullshit that happened in New Jersey with the young man and his dreads.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy James McCoy. That is his podcast, the JM Sports and Wrestling Podcast, which you can find on Castbox and Anchor. Again, I am a guest on that podcast where we talk about that, and so yeah, go ahead and give that a listen. It's about 30 minutes long, and we have a lot to say about that.
Well, okay, yeah, you too. I was about to say, I'm not there. Who's we?
Well, I'm talking about me and him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
As for us, subscribe to this motherfucking channel. 3 Count Mafia.
Yeah, follow us on social media at 3 Count Mafia.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah. Tell your mom, dad, friend, baby mama, baby daddy, next door neighbor, all that. Tell them all about us. Spread the word.
Spread our name like an STD.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Hey man, those get around town quick.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Anyway.
Times are very different compared to 20 years ago.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, penicillin is a thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, that being said, oh yeah, that being said, I am War Machine MJ. He's Dicky.
Yeah.
We are the 3 Count Mafia. Happy holidays to you and to all of us that celebrate Christmas. Merry fucking Christmas, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bam.